Facts about Ozark. Ozark has impressively turned up the stakes with each new year and found ways to keep the series surprising, while never pushing credibility too far. There are many gripping original series that Netflix has produced, but Ozark is a show that only makes bigger waves with each new season. The dark crime drama had a strong debut season on the streaming service, but Ozark has impressively turned up the stakes with each new year and delivered their most satisfying season yet. Ozark follows the formula of many dramas that have come before it, where a normal family is slowly transformed as they succumb deeper to the allures of crime. Ozark has maintained a strong balance and found ways to make the series surprising, while never pushing credibility too far. Jason Bateman and the rest of the talented cast on Ozark will hopefully get many more seasons of challenging storylines. But until there's news of a fourth season, there's never been a better time to revisit the first three. Number 15, the show actually learned how to launder money. When it comes to shows like Ozark, it's important that certain details look realistic and that the show does the proper research required for what they dig into. The Ozark team actually had an FBI agent come in and talk to them about her experience with the crime. The writers were able to pick the agent's brain in order to make sure that all their money laundering material was accurate, according to The Fuss. Number 14. Jason Bateman wasn't supposed to act in the series. Jason Bateman is great on Arrested Development, and his portrayal of Marty Byrde has provided a wonderful insight into what Bateman is capable of with dramatic roles, but he initially came to Ozark as a project to direct. Bateman was eager to direct a dramatic series, but after being allowed to take on such a level of responsibility with Ozark, he eventually also became interested in the role of Marty too, reports Collider. Number 13. Each episode's title card foreshadows the events of the episode. One of the more creative turns in Ozark is the way that it goes about presenting its title card. Each episode features a different collection of images, all of which spell out Ozark in a stylized way. The images collected in the big O are always different and emblematic of what happens in the episode. This creative and minimalistic approach was developed by Fred Davis, a graphic designer, reports Decider. Number 12. The series pulls from the creator's own history. No, Bill Dubuque, the creator of Ozark, didn't launder money, but he did spend his teenage years working at the Ozarks. Dubuque worked as a dockhand at the famous resort and marina that the show is largely based around. Clearly, the sights and people from the area made an impression on him and he wanted to use it for the show's setting. Number 11. Julia Garner nearly had a panic attack over a scene with a mouse. Julia Garner does an incredible job in the role of Ruth Langmore, and she's quickly becoming the show's best and most sympathetic character. It turns out that Garner had a crippling fear of mice, so when she was required to pick up a rodent and drop it in the water for a scene, she was unable to perform. In the end, a hand double was required to pull off the moment. Garner was embarrassed, she tells W Magazine, but she couldn't help it. Number 10. It was Laura Linney's idea for Wendy to become more intense. Linney is excellent in the role of Wendy Byrde, but she told The Wrap that she wanted to make sure that Wendy wasn't just a typical housewife character, and that she had more stakes. Linney voiced these concerns to the production, and Wendy was slowly given more to do independent of Marty's character, and she's taken on an edge of her own. Number 9. Tom Pelphrey studied mental illness for his role in Season 3. The third season of Ozark adds a lot of new obstacles for the Byrdes, one of which is Ben Davis, Wendy's brother. Tom Pelphrey delicately plays the role who struggles with bipolar disorder and mental illness, and it's one of the best aspects of the third season. In order to properly portray the complexity of Ben Davis, Pelphrey took the role seriously and did the proper research. Number 8. Marty Byrde wears Jason Bateman's favorite brand of tennis shoes. A subtle detail on Ozark is that Marty Byrde's footwear is the New Balance brand of tennis shoes. It's nothing too fancy, but it turns out that it's actually Jason Bateman's favorite kind of shoe and what he wears in all of his TV and movies. At least Marty can have comfortable feet when he's running away. Number 7. The show isn't filmed on the Ozarks. While a select few scenes from the series pilot were filmed on Lake Ozark in Missouri, the majority of the series is shot in the Atlanta area on Lake Allatoona and Lake Lanier. This is largely due to the tax incentives that Georgia provides for the filming, but they cover up the geographical difference well. Number 6. Jason Bateman was supposed to be the sole director for Season 1. One of the best things about Ozark is Jason Bateman's fantastic performance as Marty Byrde, but he's also one of the series' talented directors. Bateman directs 4 episodes in Season 1, and more with each new season, but the original plan was for him to direct the entire first season. The actor tells Rotten Tomatoes, when scheduling didn't permit Bateman for enough prep time, he scaled back and other directors came abroad. Number 5. The production team laments the loss of characters. Ozark is the kind of drama where in order to maintain the suspense in play, sometimes characters need to die. That being said, this isn't something that Ozark relishes. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Bateman is open about how they don't enjoy getting rid of any of their talented cast, but due to where the drama heads, it's sometimes necessary, and they don't want to rob the story of the proper conclusion. Number 4. Peter Mullen was pursued before a script was even finished. Ozark is a captivating series because of how much the Byrdes have to experience and adopt with, but the locals of the Ozark area also provide so much curious flavor to the show's supporting cast. Early on in pre-production, Bateman knew that he wanted to lock in Peter Mullen in the series. Bateman was impressed with Mullen's work in Top of the Lake, and the show made a serious push, according to Mullen, to secure him before the script was even finished. Number 3. Laura Linney only agreed after Bateman was on board. Laura Linney does such powerful work in the role of Wendy Byrde, but when Ozark was gearing up, she really wasn't looking to star in another television series, according to Collider. It was only after Linney learned that Bateman would be her co-star that she grew more curious about the project and what sort of possibilities that it may allow for both her and Bateman. It continued to let both of them go out of their comfort zones. Number 2. Charlotte could have been played by a reality star. All of the casting of the members of the Byrde family feels pretty perfect, and they all excellently tap into the duality needed for their characters. Sophia Huplitz does solid work as Charlotte Byrde, but it turns out that Chloe Lukasaic, one of the members from the reality program Dance Moms, also auditioned. It could have been a very different program if Lukasaic were the one who played Charlotte. Number 1. All of the football games in the series are from the CFL. A particularly strange Easter egg that can be caught by astute Ozark viewers is in relation to the games of football that are sometimes played on TV. Oddly, they are games from the Canadian Football League. It's clearly a nod to members of the production team who are fans of the Canadian League. It's a fun detail to catch all the same.